Some stories aren't told. They awaken on their own. Welcome to Whispers. Two weeks passed. He went to work and let email write the day for him. He pretended to be a person who believes in the ground. He bought a tape player at a thrift store. He bought batteries. He bought blank cassettes and a recorder. Because old ghosts are careful with new tech, he returned to the camp. He did not plan to go down the road. He planned to sit at the edge and record silence until it decided to confess. He held the recorder in his lap. He watched his breath fog in short bursts. He pressed the red circle. Silence, then leaves, then water, then something that was not any of those things. A chorus of practice voices, trying words on for size, trying breath on for size. The tape caught a sentence the world should never say. One to take, one to leave, so the path stays fed. He rewound. He played it again. It was still there. He was not free. He walked along the edge without stepping onto it. He found a stone with a notch cut by hand. He found a strip of denim snagged in bramble. He found a child's shoelace baked into bark. He found a Polaroid sealed in mud. He cleaned the plastic with river water in his shirt. Two kids, a counselor, a wooden arch, the letters still on the sign. Welcome, July 1989. A date written on the white border. On the back, he returned it. He returned it. He returned it. The same sentence written 3 times in a hand that shook. He what? Who returned what? To whom? For whom? He put the photo back in his pocket. He stood. He made the mistake of looking up. The eyes were there. Not bright. Not animal. Dull amber catching a low sun. Too far apart. Too still. They didn't blink. They didn't track. They existed. He said, "I see you." He didn't expect a reply. He got one anyway. "We see you count." It wasn't a sound. It was a thought someone else had placed on his tongue. He stepped back. The road did not advance. The eyes dimmed like embers in rain. He went home. He waited 3 days. He tried to be the man whose wallet contains old photos and not answers. On the 4th day, the file returned. The one from 1991. It appended itself to his recorder. He hadn't connected them. He pressed play. The man's voice again. Shaky, quieter, closer to the end. It wants us to be found. It needs one to tell the story wrong. It needs one to tell the story anyway. The woman again. A whisper swallowed by static. If you love someone, do not bring them here to rescue them. The road does not return what it keeps. It returns what it needs. And then a new sound. One Eric hadn't heard before. Not breath. Not steps. A soft clicking, tongue against teeth that didn't line up. He stopped the tape. He recorded himself. Lena. I'm not done. He went back to the camp with rope and chalk and iron nails because old rules nod at old things. He did not believe in iron. He packed it anyway. Belief is optional. Insurance is not. He placed chalk marks on trees as he moved. He wrote the time on his wrist in pen. He called out to air. He used a voice he had not heard since he was a child. I'm here. The road unfurled a fraction. It smelled like buried fires. He stepped onto it. The temperature dropped 2 degrees. The light lost a color he couldn't name. The world rearranged. He walked. The path grew shallow, then deep. The tunnel of trees layered itself in repetition. The birds did not return. The wind did not invent excuses. A dark opening in the hill. The bunker again, a different bunker, exactly the same. The lantern light wavered. No flame, no oil. Just the memory of both. He stood at the threshold without crossing. He listened. He heard water. He heard something like ropes twisting. He heard a voice he knew change shape. Eric. His name returned to him in the wrong mouth. He didn't step forward. He didn't step back. He said her name once. He said it again. The second time it tasted like metal. Lena, come out. Silence. Then breath. Then a word. Come. He almost did. Love is a magnet. So is grief. The lantern light fell across the floor and revealed a scattering of objects. Bottle caps. A plastic watch. A barrette. A set of 3 keys on a ring with a plastic tag that said 14A. A child's whistle with a cracked stem. He crouched. He did not step in. He reached with the hatchet. Number. He stood. He backed away. He held the rope in both hands like a lie. Something spoke from the dark without sound as a courtesy. Marked. Not missed. He turned. He did not run. The road enjoys running. It has practice. He walked. He counted his breaths. He matched them to steps. He didn't look at branches that bowed and didn't spring back. He didn't look at the ground that learned to breathe. He reached the line where the world was allowed again. He stepped off onto earth that didn't hate him. Behind him the road narrowed to a seam, a closing wound, a healed lie. He did not look back. At home he placed the keys from 14A on the table and stared at them. He hadn't brought them out. He had let go. But they were here. The road gives gifts you didn't accept because it wants you to keep opening the door. He searched for 14A. Apartments, P.O. boxes, motel rooms, storage units. He found nothing that felt like a person. He put the keys in a drawer with the membership card and the Polaroid. He closed it. He listened to the faintest tapping inside. Polite. like knocking with a hand that had to remember how. Weeks passed. The GPS slept. The recorder did not. It would hum for a second at 3:13 a.m. and go quiet like a conscience. One night he woke to his name, not from a dream, from the hallway. Eric. He stood. He walked to the door. He turned the knob without asking himself why. The hallway was empty. The hallway smelled like wet dirt. The hallway had a seam down the middle he had never noticed. He closed the door slowly. He locked it. He slid the chain. He placed the chair underneath like a story. It will not come through doors like a thief. It doesn't need to. It owns the space on both sides if it wants. The next day, a package arrived with no return address. Postage old. Stamp discontinued. Inside the box, a VCR tape wrapped in cloth from a shirt that had belonged to Season B, 1989. He didn't own a VCR. He bought one. He plugged it into a TV that didn't know what it was. He pressed play. Static. Then the mess hall. Then kids. Then a counselor with a whistle. Then the camera turned by accident and caught the tree line at the edge of the field. Eyes. Not glowing. Present. Watching the children count off in twos. One to a buddy. One to a buddy. Always two. The tape cut. Another scene. The infirmary door with the chain. The nurse cried, "You can't keep doing this." The shot wandered. The camera looked at the chalkboard. Head count. Dinner. Song. Campfire. Pairs. One missing. Then the number crossed out and rewritten. Always the same note in the margin. Returned it. He paused. He took a picture of the screen with his phone, even though his phone was not allowed to know this. He pressed play again. Final scene. The arch at the entrance. Night. A boy walking out alone. He turned as if called by a voice. The camera operator. Don't. The boy hesitated. He looked back toward the trees. He nodded to something Eric couldn't see. He stepped off the gravel. The tape ended. Eric sat in the dark. He pressed stop. He unplugged the VCR. He placed the tape in the box. He put the box in the oven because he was out of drawers. He did not turn the oven on. He went to the sink. He turned on the tap. He splashed his face. He looked up. 4 long lines on the mirror. No thumb. He wiped them away with his sleeve. The sleeve stained brown where the branch had cried on him. He whispered to air, "I know what you do. I know why you leave one." He didn't say the rest out loud. He didn't need to. They already knew. They were in the hall when he slept. They were under the car when he drove. They were in the trunk when he packed his grief. One to take, one to leave. So the path stays fed. He returned to the camp a last time. He decided this out loud to make it true. He tied the rope to his waist like a child playing a game. He chalked the trees. He called Lena by all her names. He knew which of them belonged to daylight and which to night. He stepped onto the gray road and the color went out of the sky. He walked until the lantern remembered fire. He did not cross the threshold. He did not step into the mouth. He stood in the doorway and told the dark what he had. Nothing. A hatchet. A coil of rope. A name that tasted like iron. It answered without sound. We have enough. The floor inside shifted, not like an animal settling, like many small weights rearranging, like a room remembering it used to be a body. The dark did not blink. It cannot. It does not have eyes except when it borrows some. We did not take her. We kept what the road wanted. We left what the road needed. He did not ask what that made him. He knew. A sign. A beacon. A walking reroute. He backed away from the door. He did not trip. The floor would not grant him that dignity. He turned. He walked. He reached the seam. He stepped across. He let the road close behind him like a book someone else wrote. He went home. He sat at the table with the keys and the card and the photo. He arranged them in a row like a small, sad altar. He piled a hatchet on top like an oath. He spoke to the recorder. He told a new story. He told no one the route. He told everyone the rules. Do not follow the line because it is a line. Do not trust a road because it has a name. Do not believe that a mouth that remembers being a path is interested in your destination. If you love someone, keep them off the map when the map starts to speak. He paused. He listened to the house. He heard a tap from the oven where the tape slept. Polite. Always polite. He finished. One last thing. The road doesn't lose people. It keeps them. It leaves one to remember, so more can find it. So it never goes hungry. He pressed stop. He saved the file. He copied it to 3 devices. He mailed it to a P.O. box with no name. 3 weeks later, his phone woke him at 3:13 a.m. Recalculating route. New path available. 22 minutes faster. He did not touch the screen. The map opened anyway. The gray line appeared. He was nowhere near a forest. He was in his bed. The line still pointed west. It would always point west. To where the sun gets swallowed first. He turned the phone face down. He lay on his back and watched the ceiling shift as if branches had learned drywall. He put his hands over his chest like a person in a coffin waiting for the lid. He said her name. He said it like prayer. He said it like apology. He said it like a direction no compass could decode. The room exhaled. The road is patient. It will let him live. It will leave him here as proof. And one day, maybe when he feels safe, maybe when he forgets how to count, it will need him again. Because somewhere, someone else is driving toward a lake. Someone else sees a thin gray line with no name. Someone else believes in shortcuts. And the road believes in appetite. It will say, recalculating route. It will offer a faster path. It will pretend to be helpful. It will pretend to be a map. And when they follow, it will count them. One to take, one to leave, so it can be found, so it can be fed, so it can keep whispering to the ones who think they are not lost. Not yet. And that is the most dangerous part. The story ends here, but they don't stop watching. Before you go, subscribe, like, and share, or the whispers may follow you home.